Just a little side note, a Planet Doug small adventure here. I went out looking for lunch, but I didn't bring any of my cameras with me, so I have no GoPro or anything, no microphones. But I just found this little, there's a stall right there, you can just see it. And just as I was walking by, I saw a man getting a plate of food with rice. And since I've been here in Saigon, I've had tons and tons of noodles and bread, noodles and bread, noodles and bread. And I just had this feeling like I need more rice in my diet. So when I saw he was getting rice, I thought, this is the place. And then since I knew they had rice, I just pointed at the big pot of rice and said, I need some of this. And then they had a whole variety of meats on display. And I wasn't sure what came with the rice. I mean, the woman, as soon as I said rice, she says, yes, 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 sit down, sit down, sit down. So it was almost like it was an automatic thing that when you got rice, they had a whole meal prepared that comes with the rice. But I didn't know what it was. So I tried to establish what it was. They had like sort of a, some sort of a beef cutlet or something on the grill. And I thought that looked pretty good to go with the rice. And so I pointed at the rice, and then I pointed at the meat on the grill, and she's like, yeah, that's, you know, that is the meal. It's like, you don't have to specify. Like, why are you specifying? I cause trouble everywhere I go. But then I also saw that they had some sausages there. So I says, oh, can I have that meat and these sausages? And yeah, absolutely. So anyway, my meal has arrived, and it's so tasty. I just thought I had to say something about it. So this is the meal as it came to my table, rice, and then this is sort of the beef chop or cutlet, whatever you want to call it. And it's cut up, some of it is cut up already into little pieces like that. And it's really tender and tasty and sweet. It has kind of a sweet sauce to it. And then it came with this very spicy sauce. I've been enjoying that quite a bit. It's very hot, very, very chili based, but it goes well with everything here. Came with a nice soup, brothy, had some bits of meat in there with the vegetables. And then we have the sausage, which is really good as well. And all of this came to 50,000 dong. I had no way of asking how much it cost, so I just went on faith that it would be reasonable. And then when they brought me the food, I just gave the server 100,000 dong note, and then I just waited, and then she eventually came back with 50,000 change. So then I knew my meal cost 50,000. So that worked out really well. And here's my here's the setting. It's on one of the busier commercial streets near my hotel. So I get to watch the world go by. And this is of course the stall where I just got my lunch. So I want to remember where I am. Very convenient place to come back to if every day I know I can get rice and a soup like this. So this might become one of my go-to places. We'll see.
Cơm tấm sườn bì chả. Cơm tấm sườn bì chả.
So that's it. Little side note. I just wanted to record the moment, and now I'm going to go back to my lunch. I'm enjoying this quite a bit. Really good. So this is right after my lunch, and to get back from there I found this set of alleyways. And I'm slowly making my way back to the main street. And it's interesting to go down these alleyways because you suddenly come across all kinds of residences, and a lot of the food that you buy, even in restaurants and at the side of the road, you see it being made back here. So as I walked along the alleyways, I saw all kinds of spring rolls and things like that being cooked down there. And I found all kinds of barber shops. And yeah, look, there's an exit. So I guess it's an exit from this alleyway. It probably has a name, a little community down in here. Oh, Oh, interesting. So that's where I was. I was down inside that little alleyway. And then when you step out, you're right out on the walking street. So this is where I was on Friday night with all of the music and the dancing. But this is what the walking street looks like midday without all of the activity. What a difference. So yeah, there's Miss Saigon. That was quite a sight in the middle of the night when it was dark with all the lights on. And then right up ahead, short distance ahead, are two of the bigger places, the more rocking and rolling places. A volcano on the left, an ocean on the right. But before we get there, here's another one. I noticed this one was really active as well. Cabana. It's quite something to see all the detail in daylight that you don't see at night. Look at the light fixtures up there. Very elaborate. All the spotlights, lasers, whatever it is they have. And these would be all the tables and chairs and dancing platforms for the girls that are out dancing. I'm curious to see what volcano and ocean look like midday. And of course the sound is completely different at night. There's a pounding beat coming from all directions. Right now it's just like any normal street. It actually feels less busy than a normal street in Ho Chi Minh City. It's actually quieter here than most other streets. So up here on the left is a volcano. Yeah, I don't know if I got a good look at it at night. I saw all the lights and the dancing women, of course, and the sign volcano. And I knew there were creatures on the wall, but I wasn't exactly clear on what they were. But it looks like they're, yeah, basically dragons, right? Dragons, which kind of fits in with volcano, fire and lava. So there's volcano. So just crossing the street to get a look at ocean on the other side. Doesn't have quite as dramatic a facade as a volcano, but at night it's going crazy too. It's kind of interesting where people who sit here out on the street on the volcano side, I noticed that their seats were oriented to look in that direction because that's where all the dancing performers were. So even though they're sitting at volcano, they're looking towards the dancers of ocean, and then all the customers who are sitting over here ordering their drinks and their food from ocean, I think their seats were oriented to look over there to take in the dancers of volcano. That's kind of interesting. They share the spotlight between them. It's a good deal for both of these places. And right here, this archway up ahead, that is the official beginning of the walking street. I thought it would be completely closed off to traffic, but it just seems to be that cars and trucks won't go down at night, but scooters and motorcycles still do, so it can get a little bit of a scooter traffic jam in there, even though it's a walking street. yeah, right here is the beginning, the archway. Very different from nighttime to daytime. I just had a somewhat interesting conversation. I always get myself in trouble because I can't help but respond when people talk to me. So men go by on scooters all the time, and then they initiate a conversation by saying, "Where are you from?" And it feels very rude not to answer them, so I say, "Oh, I'm from Canada." And then they just go into small talk. They list all the cities in Canada to find out which city you're from: Toronto, Montreal, Vancouver. And then of course they're leading around because they want to help you out in some fashion with the tour guide opportunity, rent you a scooter, basically any sort of service that you might need, they're willing to provide it. And this guy that I was talking to, he opened up a little briefcase and pulled out a notebook, had testimonials from all of his satisfied customers. He said to me, "Oh, like, do you want to go to the Mekong Delta?" And I said, "Well, being a dummy, I'm explaining, well, actually, I'm going to the Mekong Delta tomorrow. I have a tour booked. So yeah, I am going tomorrow I already paid for a tour." And but of course he's not picking up on the subtleties of what I'm saying. And now he's bringing out his book, and he's trying to find letters from people who used him to organize a tour to the Mekong Delta again. And eventually I have to say, I'm sorry, thank you very much, but no thank you, and go away. But I end up in these long conversations all the time because I feel like it's rude to ignore them. So, just about back at my hotel, and that's it for a, yeah, no thanks. No thanks. I'm, my small lunch adventure worked out really well. I made a mark on Google Maps so I can always go back to that spot.